And the second, we will also have awards of prize to some of our top contributors during some of the events that we had. And then third, we will also be having the 10th community meeting. But as it is now, we're going to switch the voting. Start on the community meeting. After which, we'll go international. So from the list there, we'll be starting with the community meeting. But before then, we'd like to open the session with a word of prayer so that God will say, we, even though the Nigerian government is not smiling on us, we will not be angry with God. So we will have to ask part of us. So we'll ask with God. So who will say the word? Oh, Francis. Good morning, all. Let's pray. In Jesus' name. Holy Father, we thank you for a beautiful day. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for your mercy that you bestowed upon us. Thank you for your favor. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for our families. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the privilege. Father, we appreciate you. We give glory to your name alone. Beside the Father, there is no other. We appreciate you for everything you've been doing in our life before this moment and the things you'll be doing in our life after this moment. We ask, oh Lord, that your name alone be glorified in the name of Jesus. But as we begin our meeting this moment, Father, we ask, oh Lord, that you begin with us. As we converse and discuss, Father, everything will be to your glory in the mighty name of Jesus. May we not do anything outside you. May we not go astray. As we try to plan everything, as we try to end everything for this year and talk about how next year begins, Father, we ask you, Lord, that you will join us and make everything successful in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Father, for your grace and your mercy once again. We ask in the name of Jesus Christ, our God. Amen. Thank you very much, Francis. Okay, so part of the meeting now is to review our success and to also highlight where we have some challenges and to also look at what we should be expecting in the year 2026. And on this note, I will ask our leader here. Okay, before then, I think it is important for us to also take a roll call to have an introduction so that we will go move on with this first. Even though I know everybody, but it's good for us to also have our self introductions. So we'll begin with Baka. Go like this.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Danjuma Waka Anthony, a member of the Tyap and Isabel.
Good morning once again. My name is Francis Olo. I like to be called Natali. You can as well call me by my username, Jerome. Thank you. Member of Tyap.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Abraham Ibu Jeremiah. I'm a member of Tyap.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bessie Caribbean. I'm a member of the African Union.
name is Meetup, member of the team Wikimedia.
Hi everyone. My name is Mokshi Chris.
Morning, everybody. My name is Ax Ray, aka Yokinzi, member of the Jew community. Thank
Good morning, guys. My name is Tyap.
Yeah, I still remain JJ Zama, and about the TWU of the Jew. Welcome, sir.
My name is Graham.
All right. So, can you is one of our volunteers. Thank you very much. Okay. My name is Friday. Peter Tusa. I believe you all know my name. I am a supporter of Tyap Wikimedia Sudan. So with me here is Kambai Akau. So he's one of the leaders of the community, the leader of the community. So at this note, I will just hand over to him so that he will take us through the all we need to know as the meeting. Yes.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Uh, yeah, thank you. So you're welcome to our 10th meeting as a community, and we have not really been having this meeting every month as we used to since July last year. But then we had to move it to 4 weeks or 4 months interval. That's we are going to. Okay, then we started actually having it quarterly in around October or so, so that we have much to talk about. It's just like if we keep on meeting every day and we don't have anything new to talk about, and we just sit down, they look at ourselves. But if we now make it like quarterly, then we'll be able to have much to converse about. And during the community meetings, we usually discuss the programs we had previously. And since the last time that we met, I think we had not not less than 3 or 4 meetings or programs. And I will just share my screen so that we would just go through all those programs that we had done during this period, this time interval. And even as this one is going on, I would want to urge us all also to please click on the link on the Telegram group and on the WhatsApp group and on Facebook, and then register your participation in this very intense meeting, because this page is different from the other one. We're having like two events at the same time, so we are registering on two different places all at the same time. So we have thus far about 10 people registered for the meet up, and right here we should be more than 10. We are getting close to 15, 5 already, and then we're about 17. So, okay, so yes, so please, I believe that almost all of us, if not all of us, are already Wikimedians. So as long as you have an account, please just click on the link
in the Meetup, in the Telegram group and on the WhatsApp group and on Facebook, anyone you wish, and then you can just register your presence. This is the very page that we are on at the moment. Yeah, so previously we usually do it manually on this very page, but this very time around we are having the dashboard just up here that you can just click on register for event once you have logged in, and then you just answer one or two questions and then you are in. So we have 5 people already in the meeting, and then our key point maybe
Okay, for them,
uh,
uh, for those of us who are here, how many of us have filled in the Google form? Okay, okay. So who have access to this link that Josh? All of us have access to it. Who doesn't have access? I don't, you're not on the group? Okay, let me write on the main event for today, the meetup. How many people have it?
okay, 16. So it seems almost everyone is already. So maybe we'll call attendant. Gentleman, present, press Friday, present, and then Mukti 14 is present too, and then Ichiro present too, and then Kwatato too
Ah,
present. Bello Linda. So Linda has not been,
absent.
she's not yet here, and then Oni S is not here yet, and then Docas not here yet, and then Ziron is present, and then Batarwan. Okay, then Obukam Peter Adam not here, and then Wilhelm
Where?
present, and then next level present, the real Kunde present, and then L Max present, Genesis present. So we are here to have Eunice, we are here to have um,
Yeah.
and then we are here to have Kadu, and then we are here to have Ayam Penya, and I
So
think
one
that
of us will have to register. Must be the data.
yeah. So it will just take us like a minute or so for us to register, and for the meeting, we need to like take note of meeting, so um, this is our homepage for those of us who are not familiar with the setup of the Tyap Wikimedians user group. And if you want to see all our programs, the projects, the events, the meetups that we have been having, you can come to the very middle of this very homepage and you will find them all here arranged. And hopefully, we are looking towards the design of our entire interface so that it would look a bit much more attractive and then much more easier to be able to manipulate. And so, um, since the last time that we met, we had programs like the Wikidata event, and the Wikidata event actually happened in October, and that on November 1st. And after that very meetup, we met here on Saturday, and after that very meeting, we went home to continue with the data atom. And that very data atom was all about the editing of items that have much more with Southern Kaduna area here. And then also we were to also work on the Lexim's part of Wikidata. And we had about three languages in this very category. We had the Tyap, the Ju, and the Hiam language categories. And we were expecting that after we have met, we would all go back home and edit. But then it seems it was just kind of we met and there was no activities in some other languages, but I would open up so that we all see which languages have been active or so, and then which languages have really not been active. So let's start with the Tiap language. When we started the very editing, there were about 89 lexims that were present right here, but presently we have about 31 of them, and about 331 of them, which is an increase of over 300% increase, getting to 300 and and let's say 350% increase. And we can actually see that the lexims do have a pattern that they are supposed to be taking. But then, while some of us edited in accordance to the lexims set up, some of us still were having some challenges in knowing what pattern to follow. Nevertheless, that's the reason why we are working on an open project, because you don't have to know everything, you don't have to have the knowledge to do everything. But when you are able to, or wherever you are able to edit and stop, another person will also come up and take your own work to the next level. So, that was just what we have, and that's what we continue to have. And then we also have the Geo Wikipedia project. When we started, there was just one lexeme here on this very category, but then now we have about 26, which is an increase of about 25, or that would be like 0.25 or so increase. I don't know. That's 25% increase in the whole number of the edit, which is actually kind of good progress as well for a language that is still in the incubator. And then for the Hiam language project, when we started, there was kind of zero lexims that were here, and then we then created these two on that very day. But then as we did it, that's the way it was. So Prince and Nehemiah, you guys didn't do your job. Eh? Yeah, so you are actually tasked to work on this because it is still for the good of the Yam language. If your language is to move forward in the Wikimedia space, especially with the machine kind of environment, you need to do this one first. Except you want to continue to be working manually and manually forever. Otherwise, you would have to work very well on this very aspect. So this was the progress that we had on the Wikidata, and it wasn't actually limited to those who understand only these three languages. It was also open to those who understood no word of these very languages. So those editors were advised that they should just continue with editing the items instead of the lexims. So we actually have or believe that we have a lot of it. By the time I will click on the dashboard, then we are going to be able to see what progress. Even though the dashboard actually had a problem, it crashed. It crashed last month, and the tracking ceased in at some point or the other. So I don't really know if the whole thing is up to okay, it's back, but then it's still having some challenges. You can see that the the thing crashed, the stuff crashed on the 4th of December, and some data were lost. But then they are still working towards because the population of people that are working on these things, they are in their hundreds of thousands. So you expect that something like this will go down at one point or the other. So this is the record of what we had for the Wikidata Atom. So about 1,000 uh, articles or items were created, or lexemes and items were created, and then those that were edited, apart from the ones created, there were about, let's say, 1,600. Mm, this is 1,000, 1,000. That's about 500 or so were edited, that were not created newly. These were the newly created. These were the edited, the old one and the new one both. And then the total edit, both, anytime you click on publish, anytime you click on publish, all of us have done that up to 14,500 times. And then we had about 23 editors, and this number of words were added. And then we had references added to, and then we also have article views rather. So about 4,000 people viewed this whole thing, and then about 371 items or uploads or files were uploaded during this very period. And if you actually want to see who and who was very active in all these things, you would click on editors, and then you see all the records, and then you also can see the number of articles or number of items and motifs that were worked on. But then this one is not just Wikidata alone, but we also have commons added to this whole thing, because the uploads that were done are still also being tracked. So they are all recorded. And then you also see the recent activities, where you can click on this very points, and then you are going to see the recent activities, and you can see even Ichiro, as we are presently working, is also presently doing the Wikidata editing too. And so that's the way it tracks all our events, all our edits. And today we have had um, so today we are going to actually give the first, second, and third prizes to the highest editors that have contributed to this Wikidata atom in this very year. And next year we hope that we are going to also have a kind of a bigger event than we had it this very year. And we just want to increase the fund every month, every year, that we are going to have this very event, to the point that some of us would even want to like create our own personal Wikidata birthdays that are different from these general birthdays. It's possible. People do that, and you can also do it as well. But then you have to work on your edit, and then you can be able to apply for support or funds from the foundation, and then they would be able to support you. So this is for Wikidata, and then our we also had our leadership retreat, even though this one is just for the leaders of the communities that are present in this our setup. We had the Tyap Wikimedia community, and then we had the usual Wikimedia community, and then we also have had the Hiam Wikimedia community. And these Wikimedia communities were represented by these people that you are seeing here, and we all assembled to actually discuss about what it is that we can do to help our language communities to move forward. Because the main work, even though we do other things like the upload of pictures, we also do it more of language development for our community, because you know that our languages are actually lagging behind compared to other languages in the country. And without a kind of plan that you would have to draw and then make sure that these languages follow to get documented, you see that year in, year out, we are just going to continue to depreciate as we have been depreciating for a very long time. So that was the reason why we gathered. Okay, how do we build our communities? How do what do we do newly that would help the communities to grow? And what is it that the community members need that we can be able to support them with, and stuff like that. And many of our leaders actually pledged that they were going to do something different. But then, even though we had a kind of additions, but in some other quarters where it's as if um, some of us went to sleep. But then it is not too late. We as community members, we can actually help out our own leaders to come up with visions. If there's something that you are thinking for your own community, just prompt your own leaders. For the young community, we have Nehemiah and Praise um, as the leaders of that very community. And even though the members of that community are not present here, but then it will be very good that we have a kind of a plan for our community for the very year that we're going to go into 2026. Draw up a plan for your community and see what you can be able to, what programs you can be able to organize for your community. You can always apply for financial support from the rapid funding, and then you can be able to get supported. And for the Jew community, for now we have JJ Zama and then Rio Kundi and Abukam Peter as the leaders of that very community. And then for the Jew community, I believe that we already had a meeting with them, so I believe they already are working towards something already. But then for the Tyap Wikimedia community, unlike last year, we didn't gather the community from the Tiapland area and from Zaria because we were kind of quite disappointed, and we didn't want to actually extend intentionally. But then Kajun is here presently, and hopefully when she goes back, she's actually going to do something different from what we have had, because we just want to have a bubbly community around that region. And we actually want to see that people are editing and editing to the point that they can be able to apply for even financial support from the foundation and they get supported. Because if you have nothing to kind of show for your request of so and so amount of funds, then there won't be any justification to the giving of that very fund. So it's kind of common, even if you are a business person or you say you are going to be an entrepreneur, then you draw up a business plan and then you go to the bank and say, okay, bank, I want to have a support of so and so amount as financial support. The bank would first of all ask you if you have done that kind of a business before. Well, if you don't have any experience about that kind of a business, then that means that if the bank gives you the money, you just can't go with it, and then you just kind of lose their money, and nobody wants that to happen. So that's the same thing that is happening in the Wikimedia Foundation, and uh, and the whole thing is that we want results at the end of the day, not for us, but for the language itself, and then for the growth of our community as well in general. And so that's the reason why we had this very meeting to just brainstorm and then see how we can move forward. And then before also this very meetup, we had the HIAM Wikipedia or Wikipedia outreach. And in the Wikipedia outreach, we did it in coin, and this very outreach was kind of dramatic. But then at the end of the day, we were able to come up with a result, because where we actually started, the whole work wasn't where we ended, and where we ended wasn't actually where we continue to get support from. So the whole thing is messy. It's in a messy situation, but then we hope that gradually that very community would heal up, and then we begin to have more results from that very angle. But then we have the language project in its third month. We started in September, October, November. This is December. This is month 4, and we are hoping that in the next 4 months again, then we begin to look towards how we can start to move for the movement of the young Wikipedia from the incubator to the main space. And the Jew Wikipedia is just in its very, in fact, we don't even know which moment they are going to announce it, but we are hoping that this December the Jew Wikipedia will move to the main space, because everything is already done and dusted, like students would say, and we just really need the final result of the pronouncement of the language committee of Wikimedia to just move it. And then the other project, which is not really part of the Tiap Wikimedia community project, which is the Beron Wikipedia, Wikipedia is in its seventh month right now, and they too they are kind of very busy with their editing, and hopefully by next year, probably when we're having our meetup, we should have some people from that region, or maybe even we'll not even do the meetup in Kaduna here. We'll just move to Jos and go and do the meetup. So everybody will just go to Jos, and but we are kind of going to do something different by next year. Hopefully, this year will be the very last time that we're going to be doing things traditionally. So this is that for the Hiam Wikimedia project. If you want to see more about it, please you can watch the gallery over here to have a glimpse of the videos, and maybe uh, about the images that we took during that very event. Even though most of the pictures have not been uploaded yet, but more are going to be uploaded uh, as time goes on. And I think those were the programs we had. But then we had two grand programs that we are going to give certificates for today. And the very first one is the Mentor Me program. So the Mentor Me program actually was started last year, kind of unofficially, wherein we were taking about three people in this very room, and one of them is present here. Naturally, is here, and then Lucas and on the SP. So both of them are on their way, I believe. But then, uh, and then we can also there were about four of them, and he was taking them on Wikipedia. But then we wanted to actually kind of integrate the whole program or that very initiative into our entire program, so that it would be that we don't only focus on languages alone, but people who do not have knowledge about these languages, they should be able to contribute to Wikimedia projects as well. So we came up with this Mentor Me program for purposely for those who don't understand the Tyap or the Jew or the any other language that we are going to bring in, because that time we didn't bring him yet. So it was started in August this very year, and thus far, if you look at the Mentor Me dashboard, you can see, or you'll be able to see that we have already marked that we have already. This is not where I wanted. If you look at our Mentor Me dashboard from here, yes, you see that we have already outlined the next programs from next year. So next year we are going to have it in two batches. We will start from April and then we'll end in June. And then when we end in June, we graduate that very set of people, and then we'll go to August and then end it in October. So just 3 months instead of the 5 months that we started this very year. So in this very 3 months, we hope that we are going to make it a bit different from what we had this very year, because it's always good that we change our approaches wherever we're having it loosely. Wherever we're not getting right results, then we scrap some of those parts of it and then we imbibe something new in it. So we'll come up with something new, and at the end of the day we'll have a very grand program, and not just certificates we are going to be having. We're also going to be having people who have more knowledge than they started, and then because when we started this Mentor Me program, I believe that there were a lot of people that never even touched the English Wikipedia edit. In fact, they have never even they have never even visited the English Wikipedia. But then, because of this very program, they were able to kind of go into the very English Wikipedia, because there's really nothing grand about the English Wikipedia. But then you just have to be a bit careful whenever you are editing this very English Wikipedia, because they have a lot of editors, they have a lot of admins, like in their hundreds of thousands. Admins, not even editors, admins only. So we in the tier Wikipedia, we only are managing one admin for now, and then two robots or so. But that English Wikipedia has about hundreds of thousands, and then so you just know that whatever you put in the English Wikipedia, there's somebody who's watching your work, and they are making sure that everything is readable. By the time you put any information that is not correct, somebody is there to flag it, and that's if that very topic is very sensitive, and and so We only did it to the Tyap Wikipedia or the English Wikipedia. We started actually with going into Wikimedia outreach dashboard to go through 8 courses, and those 8 courses are actually going to help you to understand what Wikimedia is about in essence. So for those of us who were able to finish our 8 lessons, we must have understood what the essentials of Wikipedia are, which are the 5 pillars inclusive. Can I throw a question? Who can tell me the 5 pillars of Wikipedia in this very context? Uh, Everybody they share and like say,
Somebody is not feeling fine.
yeah, somebody's already browsing to see the answer.
They never teach us that one.
Okay, okay. Okay, what if Kuya dash 1,000?
You not see that. That's what was that.
Give you 1,000. Okay. All right. So we learned the basis of the Wikipedia, and then we also understood the basis of editing Wikipedia, especially the English Wikipedia, and then we also learned about creation of our sandboxes, and then moving those very items that we created or articles we created in the sandboxes to the main space. And then we also learned about the plagiarism. Plagiarism is when you just copy something and then you paste and then you publish without changing anything. I think you should kind of rephrase the whole thing. And then we also learned about sourcing and citation. And you know that you actually need to support your claims. If you say that the people that voted Tinubu were kind of more than the people that voted Peter Obi, then you should have something that will back up your claims. Not that you just say that, no, I was there, I saw it. People voted Tinubu more than they voted Obi, and you don't have any other person that will support your claims. So that's the reason why we're having these sources and citation. And then we also learned about translating articles into. We had about we used about 2 languages in this very context. We used the Tyap language and the Pidgin English Wikipedia to practicalize on this very one. This one has to do with translating from the English Wikipedia into any other language. So um, I believe that all of us in this very room, we are from one language or the other, and not all of us understand or not all of us speak only one language. At least all of us understand 2 languages or 3 languages at least. If you don't think that Pidgin English is a language, then maybe you can check online. You will see that Pidgin English has a Wikipedia of its own, and the spelling system is not the same thing with English, and that the white people don't understand Pidgin English. So that makes Pidgin English a different language. So if you can't be able to contribute in your own mother tongue, you can be able to contribute to Pidgin English, and then you can also be able to contribute to a English Wikipedia. So we also learned about how to upload images and also sounds in the Commons website, and a lot of people have been able, like we had Next Level, who is a kind of miracle for us in this very community, because Next Level has not edited even one thing before August, I believe, but now Next Level has the edit of like 3 years for some people. So from zero to about more than 2,000 edits. So Jesus, let me say I'm out of it with that. So, so 7,000. Jesus. Meanwhile, you just go, you see that some people actually have been in Wikimedia movement for since like 2022, and they don't even have up to 3,000 edits. It all depends on what you want to achieve at the end of the day. So if you actually aim that, yes, me, I don't want to always be present with these people and be hearing grammar, and then people wasting my time. I want to have my own events. So I want to also be able to coach other people. Then you can also be able to like put in more effort, and then at the end of the day, maybe you just get another location. You can just choose, like, maybe I want to go to Kauru and then organize an event in Kauru over there, because those people actually need to know about Wikimedia, and then I need to groom a new community. Then you are going to put your mind into the whole thing. Otherwise, every year will just be the ones that are traditionally, going to be meeting, you know. So you understand the rest. So for those of us also who were able to come to finish these 8 modules, um, we showed you this very WikiLearn session, and this very WikiLearn session was created by Wikimedia Foundation itself. So you see that there was a new module that was put online on the 3rd of August by Asaf right here. So he actually developed with his team. They struggled. They actually put in a lot of effort to develop all these things, and it is always good that we kind of complement that very effort by going through all those lessons. It is all for our own good. We will know the essence of the whole Wikimedia movement, and we will see other ways that we can be able to contribute to the movement. Sometimes it's not all about editing alone. Sometimes it's about administration as well. So there are also some courses that have to do with administration in this very Wiki Learn session that you can be able to learn. You can see that just last week or so, no, few days, we put out this very advert for committee members for for the national funding program that is going to start by February. But then I was hoping that maybe 1 or 2 persons from our community would apply. But then it's as if our community people are really not into all these kind of things. So, but then we'll just use this opportunity to encourage you to apply for things like this, because we actually need representatives from our own communities, our community as well, not just people from other communities applying. This one is about you are going to see the eligibility, whether you are a new person or you are an experienced person. Maybe you just registered in Wikimedia last month, or you just registered even today. You can still be able to apply today, and then you can see that people like us cannot be able to apply for this kind of thing because we are already barred from it. And so don't say that they know who they are. They don't know. And then you look at the responsibilities also. If you serve in this kind of a committee, you have the opportunity to serve even in the global space, because you are going to gather experience for yourself. And if they are looking for people that have served in a committee like this, then probably you were one of them who served in Nigeria. And you can see that there were 2 adverts that were placed. The first one was for the committee chairman, or the committee, what do you call it now? Committee members, and then the second one was national coordinator. They are still searching for the national coordinator up to now, and we are still searching for the committee member up to now. And there are going to be about 6 committee members, 6 all over Nigeria. And definitely, we should have somebody from our community. It's definite. So you can be the person that would be. You only need to have to apply, and then, well, if you meet up with the criteria, because the criteria are already here. These are the general criteria. You have to be familiar with all these things, and then you also have opportunities too. You'll get training. Okay.
And yes, I forget. This one you are talking about is opening some for opportunity. We're supposed to cash in and apply. If people know who and who is here, and you can work so this more than anyone else. If you see anybody that is capable and is not applying, call his attention.
But what?
Because for us, this is an in-house. For us, we are seeing this thing as I don't want to make any mistake before you tap me somewhere.
Yeah.
Please, I always say, if there's any opportunity, you think we should do very sharp. Open up and tell us, you do this, you do this. You think we are good to go, we are ready to go. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't see that kind of application and begin to apply. Why would I go and do that? Why would I go and say that? But you know that if I get there, I have something on my interaction you have done with me. Don't be just like people that know. Please, this is a family meeting. Go, even if you don't have, we'll support you. Put you there. Don't assume anything.
Okay, thank you, Chokari.
Even if it is grants,
Yeah.
say you apply for this grant, you apply for this grant, that will push.
Thank you, Chokari. But then you know something. The Wikimedia movement is an open movement, and it's all about determination, personal drive, and even though uh, I may want more than one person to apply for it, but I can't be the one to drive you inside to apply for it. So it's all about you making effort to do it because there are a lot of videos on social media. You hear a lot of people talking that it is one thing for you to be very intelligent. Intelligence, you see that a lot of people they are getting first in class, yes, and so what? It means nothing. But with your intelligence now, it's another thing again for you to use that intelligence to do something. So you have to take a step on your own. Your teacher is going to teach you about okay, you are going to get a this. You coach you on how to get a yes, but your teacher now, if he leaves the class or you leave the class, will not now carry you and say, okay, you come. This is the best job that you should get. It stops there. There's a limit to it, and this is our own limit as well. So our own is to bring the opportunity to your doorstep and leave you with your own choice. And you also know that God created every human being on earth. But then God didn't, He has the power to do it, but God never said like you do this. Mm-mm. God nothing concern anything again. Okay, your own is just to ask. Okay, pray that give me wisdom to do this. Okay, give me opportunities. Then God will now bring a lot of opportunities and just spread it on your phone at your phone like this. But God will not say, okay, you this one is good, though. That one is good. You try this opportunity. Like it ends with the presentation on your phone. So it's just that limit that we are respecting. So that's why every time that we announce it like that, we hope that somebody would use their own personal decision, whether I fail or I get it, I'm going to apply for it. Because the reason is because let it not be that after we not push you into the whole thing, and then at the end of the day, there's something undesirable. You will not say that yes, if you didn't tell me to do this, I won't have even do it in the first place. It's like Adam. That the mistake wey God make with that too because Adam no ask for Eve. Na God just carry Eve just give am. God na you give me o, no be say I ask. So na where God stop with that. He say na like this stop. I will just help you recover your nakedness. You don finish. Um,
Maybe just have some.
yeah.
You are right. It's also right. You also need to meet also at the point. The point that I'm looking at is just enlightening us to more. You know, it's seeing this thing also, seeing this is different and understanding is also different. Right? So we also have to look at our different dispositions and background, the way how we are being wired.
Mm.
So somebody can just say something and decide, okay, maybe even if you don't understand, I'm going to try.
Mm.
Because of his own background and his position. Somebody, even if he knows that I can do that, but something will just be driving him down,
Mm.
thinking that, what about this kind of something? What about that kind of mentality of fear or no
Mm.
can make him to develop. But if the light is being shown in this aspect of that very particular thing more, it might help somebody. It might, I would say, problem, but it might help somebody. Say, okay, let me come up, let me try this. So, to avoid that, say, okay, pushing somebody, just throw more light on it. Okay, and see what will happen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. But, also, you also have to know that in terms of administration in Wikimedia, it's not all about your edits per se. There are some people that have experience outside of editing. There are some people who have life experiences in terms of administration, in terms of being in committees, in terms of playing one role or the other in relation to the criteria that are put out. Like in this very situation, like that of a committee member, you are going to see that the person needs to have a strong ability to participate effectively. They didn't mention editing in it. So even though I understand what both of you are saying, yes, but then you know yourself much more than any other person knows yourself, knows you. And so most of what we send out, you have to read, you have to read. But what I notice is that most of us don't really like take time to study the whole thing and understand it. So most of us actually value more of verbal format communication than going to read the whole thing. And not all of us are also good in verbal communication. Yes, so like my own now, if not that it's a must, I must do it. I don't do verbal communication. I just write my thing and disappear. That's the end of it. So,
Okay, let me just add to that something. Well, just as you rightly said, JJ is right, and everybody is right. But for us to get it right, all of us need to be intentional about what's going on. We don't just wait for everything to be given to you. The opportunity we are talking about, we will try as much as possible. Anytime the opportunity to show face, we'll drop the information on the group. It is not left for you to assess it. If it's something you can do, if you need an advice from us, then you can reach out. But we will not go and point at you and say, okay, come and do this. But the opportunity, as it comes, we drop it on the group. We have an active group that a lot of information is being disseminated there. So try as much as you can. Once the information comes, we'll drop it on the group. But we will not call you on phone and say, come and do that information. You will be the one to assess it. If there's something you feel you can do and you need some of our advice, then you can reach out to us. And so this thing is like this. How do you think, how you advise people about it? Yeah, now you have shown it. So it shouldn't be like the case of Adam. I didn't think God created it and drop us somewhere. Adam was just walking like and saw and now meet God and say, I see you want to find.
she can
No, I'm done. So I still want to find something here. How do you see? People say, oh, you like that, I like that. But this one, you just carry out, not out. So it's not like that. So now, we just, opportunity comes here. There are a lot of opportunities, even for Wikimedia and non-Wikimedians. All right? So once the opportunity comes, there is something that is currently ongoing. We are looking for volunteer staff in this office. How many of us have seen that document? Some of us. Some of us. So these are opportunities. You don't expect us to call and drop. So whenever the group is, as far as the group is concerned, there is no nonsense that is being dropped on that. Every information drop there is very important, it's very valuable. And it's not for me that is dropping it. It's for your own consumption, not for me. So please, we should take the information we are very serious. A lot of now we are stepping into 2026. Maybe before now we usually reach out to you for some things. But 2026 it might not be like that. Information will be dropped on the group. If you find it attractive and if you think it's something you can do, access it. If you need some advice from us or some guidance, you can reach out. So I think it's just what I want to add. So thank you very much.
So sorry.
Please, for the application, do you have a platform? So, no, it's there. As you
Look
said
at
that
him,
you are
yes.
not reading.
Look at
The
him,
group
yes.
like this very well. I think the committee. The committee is in the group.
Look at
It's
it.
there.
Look
Look
at
at
it.
it. Everything is there. And this committee is for the national fund. Because for those of us who have been applying for grants, I believe you understand that. So instead of us applying to the foundation and getting people who doesn't know us to do those grants, we are bringing in people. So we need people from among us to be the report for those. But we cannot come and make and say, come and apply this, come and apply this. So please, we should always be in the lookout. The group is active. Once information is given out there. So thank you.
So thanks very much. So there was somebody also who, after advertising this one, this other one, the one that we needed three people, he messaged on the Facebook Facebook page to ask how do I apply. For goodness sake. So I was like, where do I start again? You know it down. I read that again for you. I really man. Yeah, I'm not person me. I so this it's all about like taking extra step. Don't and sometimes even though you may not even be qualified though, but just try to you believe that you can be able to improve. Just try to do it. At the end of the day, you see that the people who are qualified, they'll even pull out that they don't even want to participate in it because they don't even see the news, and then they'll just throw it at you. It happens.
Yes.
It happens sometimes. So please, whenever we just see like opportunities, because not only this one in our community, not only that one in the national funding, there are others. You see that they'll say be part of so and so group in Wikimedia Foundation. And but then you now see like this one now you go things, and then you decide not to use it with your hands. At the end of the day, you see that you may even be the one that they may even want to give it to an represented community, and you are the only one in the underrepresented community. And then because you didn't apply, you didn't apply, thinking that you are not qualified, it passes you. So So please, let's take effort. Whenever you see it like that, just put it in the application. You may be the one. So right now we have about how many applications? We have about five of them or so. So Fulani has applied, Gwanki has applied, and then we have they are all Wikimedians, like all of us. They are Wikimedians. You can see they all answer the questions. They all answer the questions. And see, so many people are still applying, and it will close by 31st. You, the ball is in your court. Apart from this very national funding program, then we also have the we also have okay. It was actually this one that led to the other one. So please, you can actually go through this WikiLearn courses. They will give you a certificate, as we are also going to give you today in that very WikiLearn, and also, well, who knows, you can also be able to meet more people than you ever thought. And so during this very mentor me program, we started kind of online, mainly online, and immediately when we finished online, we now began to have a hybrid, both in person and online. And in this very